Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tonight, our conversation is one that's going to be talking about purpose, process, and the results here on the Thursday Night Thought. Again, those of you that are new to us, welcome. I am Dr. Marrian Efua. I am an international holistic prosperity and transformation inner alchemist, and I'm here to share with you today some conversations that we need to have on a regular basis, but oftentimes we don't have the time to do that, but we're going to start today. So tonight I want to invite you, if you have been rushing all over today, if you have been trying out everything you can to just keep yourself motivated, you're feeling like you want to fall asleep, I'm encouraging you right now, just pause for a second. Just pause. Pause and take in a deep breath. Take in a deep breath, and I want you to release it, and then pause and take it another one. And just relax. Sometimes we just have to take that moment just to breathe. Too often we are rushing from here to there. We're trying to figure out what to do and how to do it. We're not sure what to expect and how to expect it to happen. But I want to encourage you that on this night, in this present moment, we can become and expand into who we are. If you are logged on to any of our scopes, Periscope, YouTube, or Facebook, I'm inviting you to drop your city and state. Let me know that you are here because we can see you and we're excited to know that you are here with us. Hey, thanks for joining us. Good to see you on tonight. This program happens every Thursday night. Our company, Exponential Existence, is designed to support you as you are repurposing, retooling, rethinking the way that you think, behave, and create so that you can leverage it in order to have what we call holistic prosperity. And that's where you have these three core areas that are breaking down to six life structures. But really, what it boils down to is that you have some financial security and sustainability. You also have some rewarding and reciprocating relationships, and you're able to really have an increased activation and awareness of your spirituality, whatever that is. Right, whatever that is for you, it's going to be able to make it work for you versus working in opposition to you. Additionally, I want to stop and I want to pause today, and I want to pause and I want to just take a moment to pause for our global community. We are still in the COVID-19 pandemic. People are still transitioning as a result of COVID or the byproduct of COVID. People are still transitioning. And so I want to encourage you tonight to really take a moment and just pause. Sending out all types of love and peace and prosperity, and knowing that who we are and what we are is all one big family. And that's what matters right now more than ever, is that we are able to find that common value, that common thread that connects us all. And that is, we all want to have happiness, and we all want long life and longevity, and we want to be able to have our loved ones with us as often and as long as we can. So tonight, thank you for that. I also want to go ahead and I want to take a third pause tonight. The first one was for us, then for the global community. But I also want to focus in on what's happening with the protests as a result of what I call the bottle opener of the murder, the publicized murder of George Floyd. So let's pause for a moment. And not only, again, his murder was like the thing that popped the shaken bottle of soda of the things that were happening, the egregious attacks and miscommunications and vilifications and things that we've experienced in our lives. And so let's pause for that moment and let's pray for people to come forward and really do what they need to do in order to have a process that is bringing about real growth and change, that is going to unify us versus separating us and making us think of them versus us versus we, right? That's what we want to get to, that level of communication. But we got to tell the truth, y'all. We got to tell the truth, and we got to be willing to do the work. We all have to be willing to do the work. And can I tell you, it's going to be uncomfortable. Anything you go after is going to make you uncomfortable. Anything that you want to have in your life is going to make somebody feel uncomfortable. And the first person that's going to make feel uncomfortable is you. You're going to be the first person that begins to say, "Oh, is this all right? Should I post this?" Today someone saw me post and they said, "Well, why would you post your promotion to have a no cost strategy session for people and then go right behind there and post something about the injustices that are happening, right, from CNN. I said, hey, because it's reality. It's proving my point that people are very comfortable in where they are, and that includes us. Even when we say we want something a lot, even when we say we want something a lot, it always turns out to be that we don't really want to do the work. So we got to do the work, y'all. Let's do the work. So that's what that pause was for. So tonight, our conversation is simple yet complex. Our conversation tonight is asking us to look at the processes and look at how we can progress and move forward. Many of us have the passion. Passion is real easy. Passion is that excitement that we get whenever we do something we love to do or we like to do. That's the passion. But how do we convert that? How do we convert that into conversations and begin to prioritize and create some practices that make it really happen in our lives? Tonight, I want to ask you to think about, what are you prioritizing? What are the practices that you are implementing in your life and the processes so you can get the results you desire? There's a reason why we need to prioritize, put in some practices, and then also solidify that process. Now, many of you may be saying, well, Marrian, isn't a practice and a process the same thing? No, it's not. The process is what you're going to do. The practice is the structure that you create to make sure your priorities are met. And those of us that are looking at transformation and growth and elevation and expansion, it requires us to prioritize. I'm a mama, I'm an auntie, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a business owner. And I have to prioritize all those categories. I'll probably throw some more in there as well, right? And you have to prioritize it in such a way, and then you have to practice it on a regular basis so that you can create a process that works, that supports it. So here's how it looks. Hey, I want to have a business. If you're going to have a business, just put a 1 in the comments. If you want to have a business, or if you're already in business, put a 1. So you want to have this business, and in having this business, you're going to have to prioritize some things, some parts, and some components. You're going to have to prioritize organizing yourself. You may have to prioritize the amount of time you spend doing the things you used to do, like vegging out, maybe talking on the phone to an old friend, engaging in social activities and hanging out. You're going to have to get to a space where you can begin to engage and see what's the priority, the most highest thing that I need to do to get the best results. So that's your prioritization. As a business owner, what really needs to get done in order to be in business today, right now, this week, this month, this year? Because at the end of the day, we want to be able to do more than just say we're in business. We want to have profits. We want to serve people. We want to impact lives. We want to influence. We want to be a philanthropist. We want to leave a legacy. So if that's what you want to do, there are some things that have to be prioritized. And the way you want to prioritize is not based upon the task that has to be done all the time, but you want to prioritize based upon the vision, the mission, and the goals you have for your business. We also want to prioritize based upon the things that you value. Yes. People think that values are soft skills, but they're really the core of what you need to do in order to do the solid skills, the hard tasks. You have to be willing to first identify what are the things you value. What's your mission? What's your vision for what it is you're doing? And begin to get into a space that allows you to have a level of authority over your daily actions, your daily beliefs, your goals, your opportunities that you're going to do, how you're going to network with people. All of that is going to be predicated based upon your values, and then that having those values are going to prioritize you into a life that allows you to expand into a new level of you, that allows your business to expand into the next level, that allows your relationship to expand into the next level, that allow your health and your wellness to expand into a new level. When you're doing that, you are looking and saying, what's important to me? What has to be done? And what is the objective of this process? Without that, we're just kind of running around. We're kind of just running around going back and forth. We're running around going back and forth. How many of us have started tasks, right? We've started these tasks and we're not even, oh, hey, today I'm gonna do this. And then you write them all down, or you start out and next thing you know, somebody calls you, you're doing something else. Then the children do something, you're doing something else. The husband or the wife does something and you're doing something else. The parents call, you're doing something else. That's because we're not prioritizing, and not only prioritizing it based upon the value that it has in helping us reach our desired goal. Okay. I was thinking about how to best present this when I got this idea today. And it was saying, if you're seeking out the opportunities for you to maximize your greatest self, that's what a priority is. How, at the end of the day, can you have, like they say, there's a dash between your birth and your death. There's a dash. Some people have said that analogy. Well, for me, every day is like that dash. Like there's the beginning of my day and the end of my day, and there's a dash. And there's certain things that I have to get done and I have to prioritize. And the same thing goes for you, right? What are we prioritizing? What are we prioritizing? Are we trying to make the flyer when we just go ahead and throw it over the fiber? Are we trying to make the phone calls, type the emails, do all that, and remember all the appointments instead of just paying an assistant to go through your emails to organize your calendar, or automating more? You cannot do it by yourself. We all want to be superheroes, but the reality is your superpower is not you running around being busy. Your superpower is taking all the genius that's in this space right here, matched with your heart, and getting it into action. That's your real superpower. And serving the people that you are assigned to serve and build up and grow. What are you going to do strategically to organize yourself every day to have a result that is going to bring about the outcomes, is going to be able to dispel the disparities that you're having between your bank account and your business reputation? They both are connected, but if you are the connecting link in how you prioritize your day, how you begin to put things into place, is going to greatly impact how you do it. Prioritization is number one, based upon your values, based upon your mission, based upon the vision that you have for yourself and your vision. So it is shaped. And what I mean by values, let me back up a little bit. What I mean by values is like, what do you feel? What am I feeling? Like, what are my opinions? We're pouring out of my wealthy place, my happiness, my truth, my desire that I have to have a result that will fuel us past where we are right now. That's what you want to show. What do you value? And let me tell you, there is no right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. There are a lot of intelligent people that are listening and that are going to be listening. And I want you to understand that it is so important for you to understand what your values are and then prioritize them. If you want to make $100 a day, then you have to prioritize and create. And we're going to talk about the second step, which is the practice. Okay. But you got to get this first part down. Understanding what exactly it means for you to be able, these tasks, these prioritizations. Do you prioritize freedom? Do you prioritize financial freedom or time freedom? Do you prioritize being accountable? What do you prioritize in your day that helps you be able to meet your goal? This is on a personal level as well. If you prioritize being a parent, then that means you're going to make sure that you set aside quality time, uninterrupted quality time, to serve and meet that value, that priority of being a great parent. If you want to be a business person whose business is expanding and growing, and you're meeting your targets and you're meeting your goal and you're having interactive, if that's going to be you, then you need to prioritize that. And then when we go into the second part of this practice and the third part, which is a process, we can you'll understand better. But you got to know what you prioritize. And you may prioritize being a parent and you may prioritize having a business that's very successful. But how do you merge them in such a way that you can equally? Someone I heard, I can't remember the person's name, he says, there's no such thing as multitasking. There really isn't. Yeah, I can chew gum and walk. Yeah, I can talk to you and open up this bottle of water, but one of them is going to get my attention more. You may hear me stutter as I'm trying to get the water open. You may see me fidget with the water bottle a little bit more than I normally would, because nothing really happens when you call yourself trying to multitask. You have to give something 100% of the time of your attention. Where your energy goes, where your focus goes is where your energy goes. And you have a lot of energy because we're vibrating energy. So where your focus goes is where your energy goes. So if you're focusing on opening up that bottle of water, it's not really focused on me sharing with you from my wealthy place about how to create and develop your values and priorities. Now more than ever, while we're in this, many of us have had, people kept saying, oh, they're going to pivot. So my thing is, now that we've pivoted, let's get into the real thick of it, and let's see the perspective, and let's grow and expand personally, professionally, and financially. Yes, during this time, people are still becoming millionaires. Somebody tonight in a program just said, hey, I just made my first $1 million. With this last 6-figure month, I just made $1 million. It's official. So people are still making money. People are still making money. People are still making money. People are still impacting lives. People are still influencing others. The question is, where do you fit in your personal or professional journey for priorities? Right? Maybe right now you want to focus on a relationship, so you're willing to let your business or some other thing, or your friendships or some other area of your life take a back seat. Not really a back seat, but more like kind of scrunch up with you on the driver's seat and fill up in your lap. But you have to decide that, and only you can decide that on what you can do. So once we get and make this decision and we prioritize based upon our value, we now need to implement a structure. Your practice is your structure of what you have agreed to and what you are willing to get into action with. Hey, my priority is that I'm going to make calls every day and let people know who I am and that I have a business. Hey, my priority is that I'm going to write a chapter of my book every day. Okay. And if that's where you are, then that's the kind of process that you want to begin to implement into your life. Okay. If you are not finding that connection and valuing what you prioritize, this next step called practice. A doctor goes to school. We go to school for 12 years, basically, high school, college, right? We got to do residency is actually 12 years. By the time we finish a fellowship, some people go on to do fellowship, but just to go to college, med school, your residency, your internship, and then you go into that. That's almost 10 to 12 years. But they have to start practicing. That means they're taking what they know, what they prioritize as being the knowledge of the body, knowledge of the body systems, awareness of personalities, how environment infects your body, what chemicals are going to interact, taking all of that and begin to put it into practice. So they are taking that agreement and setting up a structure. Okay, well, how am I going to best take what I'm aware of, what I know, what I desire, what I prioritize? Serving people so they can live longer, that they can, they don't have to suffer as much, whatever those priorities are as a doctor. Find a cure. So so now in practice, everything you think about, do about, you're going to say, what do I need to do to make sure that that's shown as a priority? Open up an office, make sure I pass the test, get me a nurse and a nursing assistant or physician assistant, get me some tools that I need so that I can best serve my population that I said I wanted to serve. Keep up on the latest medical journals, review, study my patients' charts at the end of the night. So all of these things, that's the practice. It is the system that you're going to set in place. Is going to be a structure that you know that every day I'm going to go to the clinic. Every day I'm going to read for 15 minutes the medical journal or the latest magazine from the Medical Association. That's the type of practice. It's a daily agreement and implementation based upon what you prioritize. I prioritize being this person, this being, this relationship. Okay. So if you're not sure on what that is, that practice is going to get off. That structure has to be there if you're really going to affect the outcome that you desire. The structure have to be there. So prioritization based upon your values. Then you get into a structure. You set up a structure that's going to allow you to do that in practice, in agreement. And then we get into what's known as the process. The process is simply this: how are you going to do it? Right? The process, pulling in the people, setting the alarms on the phone, getting up and doing what you got to do, even when it's hard, even when it's difficult, even when it's done, because now you're going to pull in people that are going to hold you accountable. You're going to put yourself in environments that are supportive of the structure you have set and honor that. You're going to begin to remember and see your daily priorities or your overall long-term priorities, short-term priorities, and your micro priorities, which are daily and hourly priorities that you have. And you're going to make sure you're doing that process, trial and error, that process of trying to find somebody to connect with that may be a total opposite to you in their personality, but they have the shared values. And so they are willing to support you to get to that goal. How you structure your life will determine how your rewards come to you. How you structure your life will determine how your rewards, rewards, will impact you or come to you. When you have a shared value with people that you are working with, that you are sharing your vision, your goals, your dreams with, you want those persons to have some type of shared value. They may not have it at the level that you have it, but you at least want to be around people who have a shared value. And usually what happens is there has to be some type of mobilizing moment. You can honor who you are. You can honor how your life and how your profession is going to excel forward. But waiting on somebody to give you permission, not so much. Waiting on someone to agree perfectly with you ain't going to happen. There needs to be a diversity within the connections in the process. So you can have these shared values in order to change the state of existence, get you closer to where you want to be. So thinking about this for this last couple of minutes that we're together, think about it. What do you value? What do you value? What do you value? That, and how do those values define who you are? Right? That's important. How can you communicate those values that you're going to prioritize so that you can set up a structure to support you to reach those ultimate goals and bring that vision into a reality? What's your style? Like, what do you value about the style in which you communicate, the style in which you have to learn new information, the style in which you need to decorate or have your environment to be? It is so important for you to get very clear on this. Even if you're just going for everyday life, just to be able to understand how you function, that's going to help you in being able to expand. Expansion, in order to expand, you're going to be in a new place. You got to know that, hey, in order to get to a new place, I need to make sure that somebody's right there with me. Hey, to go to a new place in my life, I need to make sure that I have forgiven some people. I need to make sure that I have stopped some of the habits that are sabotaging me. So this structure that has clear direction for you. Hey, in the next 3 months, on August 10th, I'm going to have advertise for 12 days in 7 different venues, 7 different places. I was like, that's not enough people for 3 months, right? Is this making sense? There's a prioritization of what you value. Then there's a structure that has to be created to support that, to make sure that it's helped. It's like a shelter. It's going to come inside. Hey. Now, inside of this structure, you have your priorities, and now it's covered. So now we need a process to be able to keep accessing it and keep it growing and keep it building and keep expanding. Your process. What is your process? How do you learn? How do you think? Do you need to take a nap? Me, hey, I need to take a nap between 12 and 1. No ifs and buts about it. I have to take a nap. Are you going to be courageous enough? The process. What do you need to do and have in order to be courageous enough to exemplify the power that lives within you to bring about that said desired outcome? How do you expand your thought processes in such a way that you increase your awareness, but you also go into a state of consciousness where you're actually acting upon that awareness, so you can have what you desire? Type in a 1 if you really have something that you desire. Type in a 1 if this is making sense to you. That if you prioritize and you create a structure that protects it and allows it to grow and have a safe place, it's organized. You're not just grabbing at the first thing that comes your way. You're not just trying to extend out your hand to take whatever is given to you. You are clear and you are secure in this structure. I'm going to get up every morning. I'm going to read. I'm going to go to the office. I'm going to come home and I'm going to do my exercise. I'm going to eat this way. I'm going to speak this way. That's structure. If you've ever been an employee, you know that's how that goes. So being specific, having specificity in your process, that's the best way for it to go. Absolutely, positively, so it is. So structure, prioritization, and then the process. What do we need to do it? Well, maybe I need to have me a business bestie. Maybe I do need to not worry about having a fancy office chair. Maybe I need to invest that into getting some support, some training, some guidance from someone who's maybe a little further up the road, or someone has a level of expertise in that area that I'm desiring. When you tap into that experience of questioning, it's like a check and balance, right? It's a check and balance that says, hey, I've already prioritized these things. I've got a structure to hold it in place. I'm willing to do the following. And most of the time, that just means you need to ask for a little help, or you need to get into action. Either way, you got to do something. There's no more waiting. I also want to emphasize that your process doesn't have to be this big, grandiose adventure. I say that a lot. It's not so much about the splash that a rock makes when it hits the water. It's about two things. It's about, one, recognize the fact that there was something that happened that caused that. And the second thing is how the ripples, because how hard it hits is going to create a ripple effect. It's going to go wider and wider and wider. So you want to be very certain, very secure in what you're doing and how you're going to get there. Sounds like a plan. Y'all with me? Y'all with me? So with that, I want to thank you all for being here, and I want you to consider going forward. When you have put into place and agree to accept your vision, your original assignment, when you agree that you're here to do more than just do what you're doing or have been doing, you decided to change. You understand that there's a way by which you can live your life the way you want to live your life, according to the vision that comes and the code that lies within you. If that's you, just say, it's me. Because we have to start thinking about those type of conversations, those type of behaviors that are preventing us from being bombarded by chaos, being overwhelmed by process. Well, the process is chaotic because we're not prioritizing and we're not setting up structures. Even on a personal level, when people say, hey, you think I say, go to my schedule. I give them the link and they go to my schedule and they figure it out. Not because I'm trying to be mean and I'm not able to be accessed, but it's just that at that moment, that's a low priority for me. Scheduling is a low priority for me. That's why I have automation. That's why I pay for an assistant. Right. And so I need them to honor the value that I've given to these things that I'm responsible for, that I'm going to be accountable for, that I'm going to allow to happen, that you are going to allow to happen, that you have given value to, that you have given value to. Not someone else outside of you, but you, YOU, has given yourself permission to prioritize the things that are really important to you. Prioritize it, get the structure, and get into a process. Attract the people, get into the environments, ask for the help and get for the environment. If you've enjoyed this tonight, I thank you for being here. Our time is coming to a close. I thank each and every one of you for being here on tonight on the Thursday Thought. I want to invite those of you that are here with us, I want to invite y'all to do two things. The first thing is I'm asking you to consider to go into our mailing list. Consider seriously going into our mailing list. And when you go into our mailing list, it's going to be an opportunity for me to continue to talk to you, to learn more, to email me and follow up with this conversation we're having tonight. Because believe it or not, we're not always able to do that. This is our website. So it's exponentialexistence.com/connect. Connect. CONNECT. Isn't that what I just asked you to do? I asked you to connect. I want you to connect so we can continue our conversations. I want you to connect so that in case I can support you, which I know I probably can, I will. When you reach out for me to support you, you have an opportunity to have a conversation directly with me. You get an opportunity to learn and get the supports and tools you need to go forward. So join our family. We have a lot of great people in this family. We're doing some great things, and I'm really proud. And I'm excited to see more results. So why not add yours to ours? Okay. So go on over to exponentialexistence.com. And for those of you that want to do a little bit more, I'm going to invite you to come on and think about becoming part of my mentorship program. I have a mentorship program that is only 8 weeks long. I'm going to invite you to become a part so that we can look at and listen to and have a little bit more of that guided, ride or die person. If Thelma and Louise, I'll be your Louise as you're driving into your next level of your life, as you're experiencing the power that can be found when you honor the seat that has been given to you so you can go through life with an exponential existence full of holistic prosperity. That means that your emotional, mental, it means that you're spiritual, it means that your physical body, your finances, your vocation, your career, are all in conjunction and working as one on your behalf, exemplifying the code that you desire. So go ahead, join in, find out more. Go to bit.ly.com/mentor20. If you go into that site, you're going to get a chance to find out more about us. We're also in the comments. I also have my contact information. If you have not liked and subscribed, then please do. This is the best time to connect and grow and expand. It is the best time to grow and expand right now in this moment. So thanks for joining me here on the Thursday Night Thought. Our conversation has been about being able to prioritize, get into practice, and create a process that supports the first two. That's what we've been talking about all this time here on the Thursday Thought. Thanks for joining me. I am Marrian Efua. Have a good night. And remember that when things begin to cloud your way, make you feel like you just can't go on, stop and scream out nice and loud and know that it's only a bad dream until you make it reality. Until next time.